Lesson 25, solving two-step equations. This is very, very simple, and we use what we learned in the previous lessons. So what we have to remember is that if they ask us to solve, we have to leave the x by itself. So what we're going to do is pass the 7 that is adding to subtract to the other side. So 5x equals 10 minus 7, which is 3. And then the 5 that is multiplying goes to divide. And the answer is 3/5. In the next example, they also asked to solve. So we're going to leave the y by itself, and we're going to pass the negative 5 that is subtracting to the other side to add. Notice that what we're doing is putting the like terms together first, and once we have that, then we pass the number to divide. So 7 plus 5 is 12, and then the negative 2 is multiplying, so we're going to pass it to divide. And the answer is -6. Remember the rules for multiplying and dividing sign numbers. In the next example, we have to also solve, but this equation has fractions. So what we have to do first is a common denominator, and we can get rid of the denominator. In this case, the least common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6, so that's going to be our common denominator. Now remember that what we have to see is what we're missing. So 2 times 3 is 6. So we're going to multiply times 3 both on the top and the bottom. And the next one we have 2 times 3 is 6. So we have to multiply times 2 and then another 2 here. So in the top we're going to have -9m minus 16 equals -4. Once we have the same denominator in both sides of the equation, we can cancel and then work the equation as an usual equation. So the -16 is subtracting, so we're going to pass it to add. And once we have that, which in this case is 12, we pass the -9 to divide. And then in this case, we can't divide, but we can reduce. So we divide both by 3, which is 4/3. In this last example, we are working with decimals. And remember that what we want to do is get rid of the decimals. So I noticed that this one has 1 decimal, this one has 1, and this one has 2. So this one that has 2 decimals shows us that we have to multiply by 100, and because we have 2 decimals, and so all of them we will multiply by 100. And when we do, we get 40x plus 30 and -15. And then we have a common equation that we're going to solve. So -15 minus 30, because the 30 is adding and it goes to subtract, is -45, and the x is multiplying, and so we're going to pass it to divide. And again, in this case, we can't divide, but we can reduce. So we divide both of them by 5, and on the top we have a 9, and on the bottom an 8. So that's it. This is very simple. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you in the next lesson.